You've been watching this unfold for the last hour and a half now. Let me get your viewpoint on what's happening.
Well, to begin with, no one has, at least anyone with a level head, has not condoned storming the Capitol building. We certainly believe in peaceful protest, but I must share with you that this is the result of a lot of politicians on both sides of the aisle promising a lot to the people and delivering very little to them. The people of this country, and especially the president's supporters at this point, feel very disenfranchised, dismissed, put aside. But none of this should be going on with regard to the Capitol.
Stephen, you're a security expert, so really what I would like you to focus on is not necessarily the politics here. I want you to focus on what the Capitol Police might be doing right now. And we've got 100,000 people on the lawn and a 6 p.m. curfew. This is potentially a very dangerous situation going forward to try and remove all of these people. And it looks to be that there are literally dozens of people running through the U.S. Capitol building. As a security expert, talk to us about what needs to be done here to get control of the building and keep people safe.
Very good. To begin with, listen, there was obviously a breakdown in security. They should have been well prepared for something like this. But saying that, at the moment, they're going to have to bring in a very large number of law enforcement officers to secure the Capitol building. It's got to be secured. That's number one. Number two, there's no doubt in my mind there are anti-crime and tactical units, not only from the Capitol Police, but national and perhaps state law enforcement agencies trying to gather as much intelligence and information as they could, whether it be at the site or over the internet, to understand what people may be planning. You've always got to be prepared for the worst. They've got to make sure, and I'm not saying this to alarm people, but you've asked me a question, and I'm going to be very specific.
Sure.
They've got to get bomb detection dogs out there. They've got to get enough equipment out there to ensure that no one gets killed, whether it be gunfire, a bomb, or any other type of terrible act. This is something law enforcement should have been prepared for. I'm surprised they weren't, knowing that this was going to happen. But moving forward, now they have to be reactive instead of proactive.
Now, Muriel Bowser has put a 6 p.m. curfew for the city of Washington, D.C. What do you do to peacefully disband a group this size? Because they're all over the National Mall and the grounds of the U.S. Capitol. How do you do that without escalating the situation, Stephen?
To be frank with you, it's going to be impossible. There's overwhelming numbers of people there. I understand there's 100,000 people there. That's the estimate I got from a police officer down there.
Yeah.
I think putting a curfew on people is adding more fuel to the fire. Let them vent themselves outside. They need to clean the Capitol building itself out. Nobody should be in there. But they need to get the people outside. And frankly, why a curfew? What's that going to prove? It's only going to cause more tension and probably the potential between violence between the police as well as the people. This is not going to do nothing but escalate the problem we are now facing.
And we can again confirm now that a little bit more detail on those shootings at the U.S. Capitol. One person was shot in the neck. One person was shot in the chest at the U.S. Capitol protest. We're very light on the details at this point. We do not know who the victims are at this point. We will continue to follow the story and to bring this to you. Stephen, is this the type of thing that they're going to have to, the D.C. police could have to bring in mutual aid from other departments? Give us a sense of how do you try to get this under control with this number of people?
Well, I've got to tell you, my feeling is, and I understand the Pentagon is, from what I hear, all right, I don't know if this is confirmed, is not interested in deploying National Guard troops, but it's going to come to that. Look, we're talking about the lives of people. Those people who got shot, well, the people who had those weapons should be immediately arrested. You don't go shooting people, let alone at your Capitol building. So they should call the National Guard in. It was done before under other presidents when there were large protests. especially during the Vietnam War. But the National Guard would come in to help the police restore order, at least prevent any further violence.
Well, hopefully, Stephen, as people learn of the curfew and they hear of the violence inside the building, that people will start to be more amenable to taking direction from the Capitol Police, from the Metropolitan Police, and they will ultimately disperse. As the point that was made by Mark Halperin, this process has ground to a halt. The very process that these people came to Washington to send a message to, those individuals, those members of Congress, are now fearful. Those staffers are now fearful. That process has now come to a grinding halt. I do want to go back to Mark Halperin. I know you've got your